Hello everyone, I'm Talha Karakumlu. I'm going to talk about the application security team of Trendyol and what we're doing to ensure security. Before we get started, let me introduce Trendyol a little bit. Trendyol is the leading e-commerce company in Turkey. It was founded in 2010 with a dynamic and agile startup spirit. Since then, we have grown into a decacorn backed by Alibaba, General Atlantic, SoftBank, Prince Royal Capital, and several wealth funds. Our application security team has 8 members, as you can see. Let's talk about the scope of the application security team. These are the current metrics of Triennial. The environment's huge. So, in order to secure it, we have to work hard to implement some application security standards. We're responsible for application security tests and vulnerability management, product security, mobile application security, Kubernetes and container security, and also DevSecOps. First step of our application security implementation is the SecurityGate CI/CD pipeline. SecurityGate is responsible for handling automated application security tests. SecurityGate is triggered every time anybody pushes a commit into their GitLab repositories. All of the applications are tested in these steps: static application security, software composition analysis, software bills of materials, infrastructure as code, and also container security. Our developers can go to the application security orchestration platform to examine their vulnerabilities. Here's an example vulnerability list of a project. The vulnerabilities of every project can be seen on the application security orchestration platform in detail. Here's an example vulnerability that was identified by Git leaks that we used in SecurityGate CI/CD pipeline step. You can also check out vulnerabilities that are identified in manual application security test. This screenshot shows the manually identified SQL injection vulnerability. All valid vulnerabilities are issued on related GitLab repositories by a member of the application security team. Here's an example template for application security issues on GitLab. Manual test issues must be closed on GitLab, but automated test issues are closed when pipelines are triggered after issues are fixed. Each identified vulnerability has to be fixed properly. To make sure every fix is correctly applied, the AppSec team retests each of them. When developers close issues on GitLab, we get notified about their situations, and closed issues are moved to the AppSec team's retest issue log. We check if vulnerabilities are properly fixed according to our suggestions. In case of improper fixes, we reopen closed issues and their statuses get updated on the application security orchestration platform. Note that the status of vulnerabilities that are identified by automated tools are updated directly by the application security orchestration software if there is a proper fix. One of the other applications we developed is the issue reporter. Every Thursday, the issue reporter pulls open issues from the application security orchestration platform and notifies their responsible teams about open issues on AppSec tribe channels. The second screenshot shows an example AppSec vulnerability reporter message on an AppSec tribe channel on Slack. Even if the issue reporter helps teams to know what vulnerabilities they have, we decided that we should have developed an application that sends open issues when commits are pushed into the GitLab repositories. Then the AppSec pipeline vulnerability notifier idea came to our minds. The AppSec pipeline vulnerability notifier is triggered by SecurityGate CI/CD pipeline step. After that, it sends open vulnerabilities to responsible developers as a notification via direct messages on Slack. Establishing partnerships with development teams is a critical step in application security. That's why we developed our own partnership automation system. With this system, we can quickly respond to application security test requests. The partnership automation listens to Jira for every task that comes to the AppSec state. Then it notifies the AppSec team via Slack and creates a GitLab task for the AppSec team. Then it checks the contents of the Jira card. If it finds a commit link, it sends previously identified vulnerabilities. Otherwise, it notifies the team about it. In case it finds a commit link but the project is not integrated into security CI/CD pipeline, it notifies the team. To add teams to the AppSec partnership automation, an AppSec state has to be created on Jira boards. Here's an example card that was moved to the AppSec state. The first screenshot shows a response from the partnership automation, mentioning that security gaze was not integrated into the project's pipeline. If the partnership automation finds a commit link and security gaze CI/CD pipeline step is integrated into the specific project, the responsible team will get a similar response from the automation as shown in the second screenshot. Deploying applications in secure environments is important. In order to build secure container images, we have to be picky about base images. Here is an example project that uses a vulnerable base image. As you can clearly see, there are a lot of critical vulnerabilities inside the container. The AppSec team creates, maintains, and releases secure container base images depending on the common technologies that are used in Trendyol. The other problem with containers is shell usage. Shell usage in containers is an insecure approach from a security perspective. That's why we strongly recommend images that don't have shells. However, some of our applications need to use shell commands at runtime, so we created and released dev images that contain shell features. We currently support Java, Node.js, Python 3, .NET, Nginx, Go. In Trendyol, we mostly use New Relic for log management. So, in order to support New Relic agents in our secure container images, the PE container team prepared a pipeline for creating Java 11 and 17 images that contain New Relic agents. The best proactive approach to prioritizing application security goes through secure application development trainings for developers. We record application security trainings and organize periodic application security trainings. In addition, we collaborate on training platforms such as Secure Code Warrior and invite our developers to the trainings. For example, in Secure Code Warrior, we have 4 different courses for our developers. Trendyol backend developers, Trendyol Node.js developers, Trendyol mobile developers, and also Trendyol frontend developers. Secret management is important in application security because applications rely on sensitive information such as API keys, usernames, passwords, and other credentials. If these credentials are not properly secured, they can be easily accessed by unauthorized parties, leading to serious security breaches and data leaks. Effective secret management practices involve storing secrets in secure, encrypted storage locations and using access controls to restrict who can access them. This helps ensure that sensitive information is protected from unauthorized access or exposure. Here's an example lack of secret management issue in detail. We care about secret management in Trendyol, and we want our teams to store their credentials in secure environments such as secure vaults. The other thing that we care about is service-to-service authentication. Service-to-service authentication is important in modern software architectures because it allows different services to securely communicate with each other over a network. In microservice architecture, for example, a single application may be exposed on multiple services, each responsible for handling a specific function. These services often need to communicate with each other to exchange data or perform tasks, and this communication needs to be secured and trusted. Service-to-service authentication provides a way to ensure that only trusted services can communicate with each other. By using secure authentication mechanisms such as API keys, OAuth tokens, or digital certificates, services can verify each other's identity and ensure that they are communicating with authorized services. Without service-to-service authentication, services may be vulnerable to unauthorized access by a malicious actor pretending to be a legitimate service. In Trendyol, we want our teams to implement S2S authentication to their projects. And the last but not the least important thing for us is the rate limiting. Rate limiting is a strategy for limiting network traffic. It puts a cap on how often someone can repeat an action within a certain time frame. For instance, trying to log into an account, rate limiting can help stop certain kinds of malicious activity. It can also reduce strain on web servers. However, rate limiting is not a complete solution for managing bot activity. We strongly use rate limiting on most of our applications. Many of the application's security vulnerabilities occur due to either improper or no input sanitization. So, in order to sanitize inputs and help our developers to easily mitigate these issues, we developed a few methods that can be used in Java projects. Each method has different use cases. For example, SQL injection method should be used when you put user inputs directly or indirectly into SQL queries. If you don't sanitize or filter user inputs in this case, SQL injection vulnerabilities may occur. The threat modeling application utilizes the application monitoring tool to fetch metrics for all services, including network traffic metrics and dependent service information. This information is then used to obtain the GitLab repository links and Istio configuration data for each service. Then the threat modeling application searches the application security orchestration platform for all vulnerabilities associated with each service. The search results include the number of open vulnerabilities and open GitLab issues. The number of days that have passed since the SLA times for each vulnerability is an essential metric too. Based on this information, the threat modeling application calculates the risk score for each service. Thank you all for listening to our presentation.